The first Star Wars film in 1977 marked a new kind of science fiction, combining the feel of an old movie serial with modern visuals. And almost anyone seeing the film wanted to be like Han Solo or Luke Skywalker.
Great shot, kid! That was 1 in a million!
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Then in 2002, Wired magazine reported those dreams could be realized in an upcoming online game called Star Wars Galaxies that allowed people to play together in the Star Wars universe.
Star Wars Galaxies, an empire divided.
The game premiered in June 2003 and attracted a growing following of Star Wars fans, until a fatal mistake by the game's developers, Sony Online Entertainment. Jealous of the success of newcomer game World of Warcraft, in 2005, Sony Online Entertainment dumbed down the Star Wars game with something called the New Game Enhancements. Instead of a rich and complicated game where widely different professions helped each other, and there were alternatives to combat, players got a poor copy of World of Warcraft, and most left the game. Star Wars Galaxies lasted until December 2011, when George Lucas's LucasArts pulled the license plug in favor of a new game from BioWare called Star Wars: The Old Republic. The reviewers were excited about the new game.
All right, so seriously, how long have we been talking about Star Wars: The Old Republic, and how excited were you going into it, and how much do you like it now that it's actually out?
I do love it. I'm still only like level 14, but I'm having a blast with it.
Set more than 3,000 years before the original Star Wars, The Old Republic uses a huge collection of film sequences to keep the action going. But some might say it's even more dumbed down than the later Star Wars Galaxies, which was called a sandbox game because users could wander just about anywhere and do all sorts of things. The new game is more like an amusement park ride that keeps you on a single track. And unlike Star Wars Galaxies, there are no alternatives to combat. In Star Wars Galaxies, I was the mayor of a small town outside the minor outpost of Anchorhead. I had my own house, which I made myself in the game, and I spent a lot of my gameplay decorating it just the way I wanted. I even had vendors where I sold items I made in the game. 3,000 years in the past, in Star Wars: The Old Republic, Anchorhead was a bustling city, but there's no player housing, let alone decorations to put in them. In Star Wars Galaxies, I had a starship, just like Han Solo's, which I could also decorate. Space combat was challenging. I have a similar ship in The Old Republic, but not only can I not decorate it, the space combat is a primitive system known as a rail shooter. But otherwise, the graphics really are great. And most importantly, right now, The Old Republic is the only online Star Wars game around.